Okay, hi everyone. This is day 2 of my Dissolving Disempowerment challenge that I'm sharing with you guys, and I'm gonna dive right into it. If you have not watched the day 1 challenge, the link is in the description below, and I will strongly encourage you watch that first before you dive into this one because it's gonna be really helpful. So for day 1, we challenged ourselves to fully feel into the resistance, right? We allowed ourselves to fully feel into the disempowerment feeling and fully allow and have the permission, give yourself the permission rather, to express all that wants to be expressed. It could be crying, it could be wailing, screaming, anything, emotions that just wants to come out, let it come out. And also anything that wants to come out in terms of speaking, like beliefs, thoughts, words, whatever. So as you do this, you'll start to realize that the areas in your life that you feel disempowered. So it could be, for example, money. It could be specific relationships. It could be specific type of people, specific situations, career opportunities, career success. It could be very nuanced, it could be very broad. Don't judge it. Just start to be aware of where all these areas where you feel that debilitating feeling of, oh no, I can't. I want to, but I can't. That's day 1. For day 2, we are jumping deeper into awareness. So, my challenge to myself and also to you guys would be to pick one area that you feel disempowered and you go right into it. This could be something that is a lot more manageable for you, or it could be something that's a bit more heavy hitting, depending on where you are vibrationally, emotionally. Do not overload your system. Depending on where you are, pick the area you feel called to and you feel is the right thing to do to go deeper into. For example, it could be money, or it could be something small like, I don't want to listen to other people bossing me around anymore. Okay, that's not small, but like it could be different areas. Okay. So, for to demonstrate the exercise, I've already done it for myself. So, I just wanted to demonstrate how this worked for me. And you can do it for yourself. I picked the 2 areas that I feel the most disempowered is ease of earning money and also interdependence with people, especially people of authority or anyone who has a certain level of authority and decision making power over me. Okay, so just remember that it could be that you need some guiding questions. You could start the exercise by asking yourself, why do I feel the way I feel around money, for example? Or how do I feel about money? And then let your inner self answer. Do not have your brain try to interfere, because once you start to intellectualize if it's the correct answer or not, you're going to lose. From my experience, this is what I saw. You're going to lose the authenticity and the rawness of the truth that you really feel. So for this entire exercise, your brain is in the backseat. Okay, so what do I feel when it comes to interdependence with people, especially those who have authority over me? I don't trust them. I don't trust people to caretake for my best interest. I feel like everyone is out for themselves and no one really has my best interest at heart because it doesn't serve them to. Because what I want always contradicts with what they want, and they're going to do what they want unless I can manipulate them into making them happy, into giving me what I need. This is what I got. And this is how I will prevent people from dropping the ball on me. So, how does this make me feel? I ask. And this is what I got. This makes me feel unlovable, unwanted, lonely, unsafe, and the feeling that now I no longer can get my needs met. I feel that there is no such thing as people who are genuinely kind. There is no such thing as people who are genuinely compassionate. There is just act of charity, and act of charity doesn't really last long. Mind you, these are just blatant truth for me that is just coming out. And let yourself just speak and express anything, no matter how unfiltered and how ugly they are. Let yourself express it. So, I'm continuing with my exercise. So that means that no one other than myself really has my back. So once I let go and let my guard go, I'm going to be in trouble. That's what I'm feeling. I'm always in trouble unless I already know all the steps through which I can get what I want and my intended outcome. The minute my brain doesn't know how to function and my brain doesn't work, I'm totally powerless. I cannot trust other people. That doesn't happen. And I am completely powerless at any time I'm on a total reliance and dependence on the other person to do the right thing. Because my mind doesn't believe that people can be genuinely kind. People can genuinely have my best interest at heart, and people can be genuinely compatible with me. So, my desire is to find genuinely compatible people. So, I want to get help from someone who is energized from helping. I want to meet people of authority who loves to caretake other people's best interests. That's really what they are feeling energized by. But from my perspective, it's a different story. So that causes me to learn about my limitation. And this is what my limitation was. My limitation is my only door to get what I need is through people who cannot meet my needs and are seriously incompatible with me. My core belief: people are inherently selfish and are only after what they can get. It's pretty tough. So this is the self-awareness exercise that I'm doing to show you the example of how it is done and how I administer it myself, so that you can use this as a guide and a support for yourself, and let yourself be just very raw. Just let yourself completely kind of like bleed out the real truth, bleed in quote unquote. For me, once I have done this exercise, it was too much for me to try and fix anything immediately. I just needed to completely sit with it, sit with myself, sit with the discomfort of my truth. I was at a loss of what to do. I was just like, this is really where I am. I can't even run away from it. It really is where I am. So it took me half a day actually to process everything. And then I slowly started to ask myself, to the very aspect which once survived from believing that the world is unkind, that people don't have your back, and it's better not to trust than to trust. Thank you that it worked. Thank you for bringing me here at this point. But is this strategy working anymore? Sit with the question for yourself, for your own exercise as well. Because it's not easy to change these patterns, especially when you held on to them and they worked for so long. took me a while to realize that it's not working, but I don't have any concrete example of that trust that I ever so desire. So it would be very insulting of my intelligence, of my mind, my brain, and my inner self to try and tell it to just trust people. So don't swing the pendulum on yourself to the other side. It's not it's not possible, uh, especially if you're in deep levels of disempowerment. Instead, allow yourself to feel that it is possible to consider that people might have your best interests at heart. Yes, there are people who are not going to be compatible. There are people who you might trust and you feel that distrust. There are people who you encounter and they might not have your best interests at heart. But don't jump into that conclusion right away simply because it's not serving anymore. So consider both sides. Instead of being just focused on the negative 50%, consider that it's a possibility that a person might turn out to be compatible with your needs or incompatible. And give the world a chance. That's it. That's the exercise. Just that. Don't push yourself too hard. Just fall into the awareness and then allow yourself to have that consideration that maybe it's not always negative. It could be because you experienced it, so there's good reason why you held on to those beliefs. But it's not to your best interest to directly jump into the negative outcome. So give the world a 50-50 chance. That would be the exercise for today. Okay. Have a good day. Good luck with your exercise. Bye.